Good morning. The gang is ready. The gang is ready, so let's go. Let's go, gang. The gang is ready. Only Song and Lucky today, but that's okay. Song is oh, here comes Noon. So there's 3 of them today then. The gang is away. Wow, another cold one. Song has very much bonded with me already now. All over me this morning he was. I think he's a dog that craves affection. And maybe he doesn't get that very much, I don't know. I know his owner. He's always very protective with his owner. When I first met him, he wouldn't let me get near his owner. He'd just growl when I got close. That. So they tear off. They tear off. Here they go, look. Bang. Bit bouncy this, sorry. And I don't like to go too fast because it's cold. Too fast is cold. Ah. So I have a dog gang now. I do indeed have a dog gang. How much longer will this cold spell last? Nobody knows. Let's go. I can't see it lasting much longer. I mean, in Bangkok you'd be lucky to get 2 weeks of cool weather in the new year. And it's normally at this time of the year now, it's about 3 or 4 degrees warmer down in Bangkok than it is here, on average. I know that because my buddy sends me the temperature every morning. Yeah. Well, they're off now, tearing off. Just not used to this temperature. Black. I've got everything I need. Nung's having a dump. Good boy, Nung. Nung's having a dump. I don't know what Song's doing. He's disappeared. I'd better wait for Lucky. Lucky, Maleleo! Maleleo! Wow. Not a cloud in the sky this morning. Maleleo! Lucky! Maleleo! Maleleo! Here she comes. That noise you can hear is my cup hitting the front forks of the bike, because I have my cup in a little bag so I don't have to hold it, just so as you know. Well, right, it's going to be a nice sunrise this morning. It is. There goes noon. There goes song. And there goes Lucky. This really couldn't have worked out any better for Lucky, because she's completely healed now, thanks to my vlogs. Hey, Lucky doesn't really understand bikes and momentum. She'll just get in the way sometimes. The soft sandy bit. Oh wow, there's so much mist over the ground. This might be a magical sunrise, guys. I'm not gonna ride the bike this last bit. Ooh. Not used to this temperature. I'm wondering if it must be spiders that make these little webs on the ground. Of course, we don't know that. So we're here. We are here. Lucky is here. Right. We'll get things sorted out now. Good girl. Lucky's arrived. Lucky's arrived. Don't see the other two. They have maybe gone their own way. I don't know. They'll be back, I'm sure. Oh. Oh. So, here we are. Very early. Don't know if you can see all the mist on the ground, but there is a layer of mist. There's a motorcycle going past. There's Lucky. and I don't know where the other two are. So it's good morning from me in my favourite place. Yes. Lucky find a spot to sit down. Let's start with this one. We'll start with this one. I'm smoking about 3 of these a day now. Yes. Oh. There's Ning, eyes peeled. He's looking for something. I don't know what it is. So the start of another day. I had a dream last night, but I do not recall what it was about, but I just know I had one. I believe we all leave our body at night. So it isn't, it's not an alien thing for us. I think it happens on a daily basis. The trick is to do it when you're conscious. Patience. Patience is a virtue, they say. Now, I was not a very patient person in my younger days. Far from it. But I've developed patience over the years. And I think having patience is a wonderful thing. You know, it is. I think to a certain degree, age brings patience. Age also brings wisdom, I think. If I could go back to being 20 again, if I could click my fingers and go back to being 20 again, would I want to? Let me think about that for a minute. The game would be you click your fingers, you're back to 20 again, but you don't have any knowledge of what happens from the time you're 20 until now. You don't have any knowledge of that. You could just go back to being 20 and start again from that time and that day, whatever it was, and just, would I want to do that? You know what? I would not. No, I would not. Yes, I could have another 50 years of life, but I kind of like my life the way it is. And if I went back to when I was 20, it's quite possible I might have made some different decisions. And it's quite possible that I would not have ended up where I am now. Yes, it's quite possible. So no, I wouldn't do that. Here's song, look, finally the boys arrived. So they're off in the fields now doing what they do. Lucky's not doing that. Well, she's 12, so she's not going to be into doing all that running around, are you, Luck? She's quite happy to be here. It's the sounds that I like here. There are trillions of life forms in my view here. Trillions. From the smallest of microbes to dogs, I guess, and everything in between. Of course, we can't forget the cows, can we? I was talking to a farmer the other day who was leading his cows to the field. And I said, do they know their way home? And he said, I got drunk one afternoon and I fell asleep on my hammock and they all pulled their rope pegs out of the ground and walked home. And they were there when I woke up. So yes, they do. Look, they've gone tearing off now. And Lucky's following them. So the cows know their way home. Oh, still dealing with the cold here, guys. Got to start the car today. It's been 9 days. Don't want to leave it too long. Take a trip to the local supermarket, get some bread and some other stuff. That will take a couple of hours. I'll be happy to do that. I'm still listening to Billy Mier, by the way. Let's look at the cold, hard evidence of Billy Mier, shall we? He took over 3,000 35mm celluloid images of UFOs quite close to him, over the trees, behind the trees, never too far away. And this was obviously before the age of digital, mid-70s. There were no digital cameras then. Anyway, the experts have looked at these images and they have said these images are not doctored in any way, shape or form. Whatever that object is, or those objects are, because sometimes there were more than one, they are real. They were in the image when it was taken. But there's even more hard evidence that Billy Mier knew the future. He published books with predictions, and book publishing comes with dates and records. So there is insurmountable evidence that somehow or other Billy Mier was able to predict events 30 or 40 years ahead of time with incredible accuracy. Add to that the fact that Billy Mier's stories have never changed. He's always said the same things. He's always answered the questions with the same answer. Nobody can pick holes in him, debunk him. He's invited other people to see the craft, and they have witnessed, yes, we've seen these craft too. So for me, Billy Mier must be telling the truth about the Pleiadians. That's why I'm so interested in what they said to him. And I'm still researching that because there's an awful lot to go through. I think he had 157 long conversations with this woman. I think her name is Semajal or something like that. So there's a lot of information. But this is the year of disclosure. I mean, we've already had it, haven't we, really? You know, people in front of Congress under oath, saying what they've seen, saying what they've witnessed. That is enough. And but it's going to come out, you know, it really will come out. Will Donald Trump turn around to the world and say, well, I can tell you now, we are not alone in the universe. If you think about it, the ETs could bring disclosure on any time they wanted. All they'd have to do is put a big ship over every city on the planet one morning. That would pretty much do it right there. They wouldn't have to say a word, just half an hour, and then boom, they could disappear. That would be enough. over every large city on the planet. And then I think the governments would be in serious trouble, wouldn't they? Because people would put two and two together. If I'd been hiding something from the people for 70 years, I wouldn't want to be coming out and saying, well, you know what? We hid this from you for your, we had your best interests at heart. And now we're coming clean. But would they come clean? I doubt it. What have they learned from their reverse engineering programs and what they've been given by the ETs? Yes, it's a topic that really does hold my interest. I'd love to meet some. I really would. Song is back. Lucky's here with me. Look, there's Lucky. Song is back. Be nice, Song. You see, the ETs, well, obviously they must have so much more than we do in terms of technology to be able to get here. But we're just discovering that. We're just discovering there's dimensions, and there's free energy, and there are wormholes. And it's all about orbs and plasma. Yes, they are important things. There's a big wedding going on today near our place, I've been told. So we can expect loud music for a couple of days, maybe. Somebody asked me that question the other day. How do you deal with the loud music? How do you deal with that? You don't. There's absolutely nothing you can do. If you have a set of headphones, listen to your favorite music or a podcast, but there's nothing you can do when the Thais are having a party with loud music. Look upon it as a lesson in tolerance, because that's pretty much what it is. As you probably know, getting upset in a public situation is not the done thing in Thailand at all. It's not. They don't do that. They don't get angry, they don't get frustrated. They keep it calm. Yeah, and what's Song doing now? He's picked up a trail, I think. That's still cold right now for me. And the sun's taking its time to come up. Yeah. I'm quite interested in what's going on at the moment with archaeology. I think we've now reached the point where technology will lift the veil of lies about the origins of humanity. You know, we didn't just show up 50,000 years ago. Oh no. There have been many advanced civilizations here. There have indeed. Maybe some of them even more advanced than us. So this is what the Pleiadians say, by the way. They do. They say Atlantis was a real thing. They say Atlantis was destroyed by scientists messing about with what they don't understand. That's what they said. And maybe that's what they're doing at CERN right now, you know? I mean, I don't understand the mentality of some of these so-called scientists. Did you know that in the early 70s, the US military wanted to detonate a nuclear weapon on the moon just to see what would happen? I mean, that's like a chimpanzee finding a very complex machine and starts pressing buttons and turning dials without knowing anything about it at all. We do know very, very little about reality, but we're discovering certain things. Apparently smashing particles together at the speed of light. A lot can be learned from that because they take high quality images of every millisecond of that impact, and it shows different particles that maybe will be visible for 5 billionth of a second, and then they disappear. And who knows what they're really up to? That's the thing that could scare you, isn't it? Eh? What are they really up to? I mean, nothing's off the table. You know, they could inadvertently open a door to a dimension where there are millions of flesh-eating lizards. And they all come into our world and eat humanity. There goes Song, that he's bounding with energy, Song is. I mean, you might laugh at that, but that is entirely possible. I've listened to a few whistleblowers from CERN, and they say there's something satanic going on there. There are certain areas where people are not allowed to go. And somebody actually filmed part of a human sacrifice ceremony at CERN. I don't know as to the authenticity of it, but when you hear all these different things from different people, there are certain people who are doing things that they should not be. The dark side, eh? And of course, you know, if you look at any power, look at the laws of attraction. You know, the laws of attraction can be used for good or for bad. You could focus on another individual and you could intend for harm to occur. You could. And apparently that's very dangerous when you do that, because if it could come back to you 5 times stronger. Yeah. It's like AI, isn't it? I mean, it's a power, but it's what you do with it that counts. I think there's going to be 2 kind of people that emerge from the AI era. There'll be the one group who understand the dangers of AI, and that group, they'll use AI for research, they'll use AI for lots of things because it's very useful, but they won't let AI make decisions for them. And they won't use AI when they need to be creative. And those people will be safe. Safe in as much as AI will not take over their thoughts. But then you got the other group. And the other group will embrace every aspect of AI. They'll lap it up. And before you know what happens, AI will be making decisions for them. AI will do all their creative work. So they won't need to be creative anymore. And they'll believe in the AI. It will almost become godlike. And they'll make decisions, serious life-changing decisions, based on what AI tells them. And where does that end up? That ends up with you not being able to think. AI will be doing your thinking for you. And here's the scary thing. You won't even know that AI is thinking for you. You will think that these thoughts are yours. And if we reach that point, boys and girls, it's checkmate. Transhumanism. It can't be stopped. Just like digital development, it can't be stopped. Companies are spending fortunes on development, you know. What's the next step? I mean, I was amazed at something the other day. I filmed my vlog right out here where I am, but I had my smartphone with me. And I made a video call to somebody in the UK on Facebook, squatting in the middle of this field here. Now, there isn't a tower in sight, a 4G tower. There's not one in sight. And yet I had a 25-minute video call with no lag whatsoever, no delay at all. That's the level we've reached. 15 years ago, if you came to Kukan, they wouldn't even know what the internet was. They just wouldn't. And I've noticed the Thais are very much locked in to social media. Even some of the older Thais. Nasuban is related to my mother-in-law. She's got a smartphone. She only uses it to talk to her daughter. We tried to teach Miguel how to receive a call, but she just gave up. She's one of these elderly people who just will not accept IT. I'm pretty IT savvy. You know, in the late 90s, 1999 maybe, I could build a PC. Yeah, I did several times. So I'm quite savvy with IT. But I do realise that there are some people who are 70 years old like me who haven't got a clue. But I saw it as a necessary thing. And I was right, of course. Look, there's Lucky. Look. What a girl she is, eh? What a girl she is. Yeah. I'm lucky to have her. And she's lucky to have us. I'll tell you a little bit about Lucky's beginning, shall I? When we lived in Minbury, we had a 17-year-old street dog called Gooey. She was a miserable bitch, really, but we loved her. Now, I found her. I came out of my friend's house, who lived in the same village as me, way back then, and my bike's parked there, and I got on my bike to go, and I saw this tiny little puppy curled up asleep. I mean, it was that small, I could put it in my pocket. And I looked around me, and there's a neighbour looking at me over the wall, and she said to me, "Oh, it's a street dog. The mother got up about half an hour ago, and the other 8 followed the mother, and this one's still asleep." So I looked around, there's no sign of the mother anywhere. So I picked up the dog and put it in my pocket. I literally put it in my pocket. Rode my bike the couple of kilometres home. My wife wasn't over the moon about the dog, but she quickly bonded with it. So anyway, we had her for 16 years, and then Tom brought Chucky home. And she didn't like Chucky, but eventually she was okay with Chucky. And Chucky, when Chucky was about a year old, Lucky Gooey got run over outside my house. Yeah, no big deal, it just happened. You know, she died pretty quickly. But she'd lost her sight almost, and all her fur was coming out, so, 17 years is a good innings for a dog. But anyway, we used to walk our dogs around the back of the street, and there was an area out there with grass and jungle, And there used to be a black and white street dog that lived back there, and one or two people fed it every day. That was this dog, by the way. And when we used to go around there with our dogs, it would try to play, but Gooey wasn't very playful at all, Another female as well. Anyway, Gooey died, and Chucky got on quite well with Lucky. Whenever we went round there, they would play a bit. And Lucky was in a bad condition, really. Her skin was terrible. She was underweight. And one day, I'm talking to my son, Tom, and he says to me, "Dad, you know that black and white street dog round the back?" I says, "Yeah." He said, "Did you know that she sleeps in our garden every night?" I said, "No." He said, "Yeah, she's dug a little hollow under the banana tree out the back of the garden. She sleeps there every night." So that night I waited, and sure enough, she's there. So we had a family meeting, and we said, "Look, let's take this dog off the streets and let's give her a life." So that's what we did. And she was so grateful. You could see it in her eyes. The first few weeks, we just put food in front of her in the house, and she'd just look at it and like, "Wow, you're going to give me that?" And she slept in our bed, and, we got all the fleas out of her, and we showered her every week, and she's had a wonderful life. She's had 11 years of a wonderful life, and we got her sterilized pretty quickly. And she spent 11, 12 years nearly now with us. And why do we call her Lucky? Because she was extremely lucky. Street dogs don't live past 5, 6 maximum. They just don't. But Lucky was lucky. Yes, she was. Lucky was very lucky. And she's had a great life. And hopefully she's got lots of more years left in her. So I've taken 3 dogs off the streets since I've been in Thailand. Gooey, Chocky and Lucky. And they've all had great lives, all of them over 10 years. Chocky was 11, Gooey was 17, and Chocky was 11, yeah. And I've always loved dogs, but I've never had dogs in my life because I haven't been in a position to, you know. I was always traveling and moving around, so I never really had dogs until I settled in Thailand and got married and had kids and everything, and then I decided, yes, let's have a dog. Dogs are fantastic creatures, they really are. Song has seen something over there. Lucky's looking at Song. The sun is actually coming up now. I love dogs. Well, I love all animals. I love cats. Every living thing. And as I've said before, we're all one. I do believe that. We're all one. And I think, you know, doing a psychedelic trip can give you that. It can make you understand that, wow, you know, we all come from the same source. And if people in power, like politicians, for example, they should make it mandatory that they have 3 psychedelic trips within a year before they become politicians. And you see, some people would say, what a wonderful world it would be if everybody was good and kind and loving, and it would be an amazing place. But we can't have that. That's one of the things about this universe. If you have love, you must have evil. If you have good, you must have bad. If you have hot, you must have cold. If you have long, you must have short. So there has to be evil. There does. It just doesn't have to be so much. And we shouldn't focus on that either. There's Song, that he's back now. Ning's gone. So it's just the 2 of us now. We've hit 50 minutes. I went out and did a vlog yesterday afternoon and got back. Not one of the files I can open. Different SD card. So that's another one that bites the dust. Can you see the sun coming up? over the trees, I'm sure you can. I can sit like this for hours, by the way, in total silence. It's not unusual for my wife and I to be in the same space for 2-3 hours and not a word is said. But you get that when you have a unique relationship with somebody where you're so comfortable with each other that nothing needs to be said. Unless, of course, you want the other person to do something, then you'll ask them. But yeah. Hard work. My relationship was very hard work. But it's, it's balanced. It's balanced in as much as, I've learned as much from her as she's learned from me. Although they're entirely different. What she's learned from me is the ways of the world, how to critically think, stuff like that. And what I've learned from her is the power of meditation, the importance of being honest and being patient. Yeah, so I used to think to myself, how on earth could this girl who's been nowhere and done nothing ever teach me anything? And the crazy thing about it is, as I've told this story before, but when I first met my wife, it was a joke. The relationship was just a joke for me, because she wasn't serious about it. She was trying to palm me off with her fat friend, and I was having none of that. I even went as far as to dump her and her fat friend at Pat Pong and leave them there with a bill that I hadn't paid. I just left them there. As much as to say, well, there you go, then that's the final act of this relationship. And just to show you that I'm not into you playing games, I'll play a game with you and I'll just desert you. I just want to look at Songa. He's got a wonderful posture. Look at the way he sits. Look at the way he sits. He's really bonded with me. He followed me around this morning. Got to touch me, always touching. Because I give him affection, you see. And the people in Minbury, they used to be surprised. One old guy saw me with the dogs, the street dogs, and they all come to me, Oh, wow, he's off. What's that about? Oh, he's chasing one of the white birds. He's chasing a bird. Can you believe that? They must just enjoy it. He knows he's got no chance of catching that bird, but off he went. Yeah, and this old guy saw me with these dogs one day, and he says to me, why do those dogs come to you? Because you're not feeding them. And I wasn't feeding them. And I said to him, well, I give them something that nobody else gives them. I give them affection. And that's true. Dogs crave affection. If you show a dog affection, it will just melt. Let's take Song as an example here, this boy Song. It took me the best part of a month to get to the point where I could touch song. He made it very clear, no. And now he's all over me. I've also noticed the locals and their attitude towards dogs. Some love their dogs, they do. Some see dogs as a total nuisance, and others see them as just an animal that will tell you when somebody's come onto your property by barking, you know. So there's a whole different spectrum of people's attitude towards dogs where I live. But the street dogs, but dogs in rural Thailand do have a great life. I don't think there are any dogs in Thailand that in this area rather, that are not given the freedom to just wander around. I don't think there's any that's kept inside the house or kept inside the garden. They all just seem to have the freedom to go where they want. And of course, most of them don't really go anywhere. You know, dogs are territorial, as we all know. So they kind of have their own space. But dogs are like humans, in as much as they all have their own unique personality. Just like other animals do. Horses, cows. You ever hear of a horse called Secretariat? In 1973, Secretariat won the Belmont Stakes. I think it's a mile race. And he broke the record. And I still watch that race sometimes. That horse was absolutely unbelievable. Well, I've got to visit it. Lucky! Waddy Cup! ทำอะไรครับมายิงเหรอมาใส่เบ็ดอ๋อฮานูใช่ไหมโอ้โหเก่งมากหาปลาครับไม่เป็นไรลักทำอะไรครับอ๋อถ่ายวิดีโอนะครับไอ้ก็มาทุกเช้าที่นี้นี่ผมนอนอยู่นี่อ๋อเหรอนอนอยู่นานี่ครับครับเช้าผมก็มาทุกวันครับเห็นนั่งอยู่นี่เลยเอามานี่วิสกี้อ๋อไม่ผมก็ดื่มกระท่อมวิสกี้ขาวแก๊กหนึ่งก็ดีครับประเทศอะไรครับอังกฤษนะครับอังกฤษครับแต่ไอ้ก็มาอยู่นี่นะไอ้ก็ไม่ไปไหนแล้วครับไอ้จะไปเผาที่วัดกี่ปีแล้วครับ60 70แล้วบ่70ครับ70แรงอยู่เนาะก็โอเคแต่ผมชมนะคนแถวนี้เพราะว่าไอ้ก็เห็นว่าผู้ชายนะ80 กว่าก็แข็งแรงนะผู้หญิงด้วยขยันนะถ้าเราขยันนะผมเชื่อว่าอายุยืนเราต้องขยันนะพูดไทยชัดเนาะแข็งแรงเนาะอยู่ไทยมาอยู่นาน40 ปี40 ปีอ๋อขอดูนะหน่อยนี่ครับเหยื่อแมงจีซอนthat's the bait ครับจะใส่เบ็ดโอเคครับโชคดีนะครับผมขอให้ได้ครับผมโอ้อะไรนี่เยอะๆครับลูกอ
กองทิป
ครับ
โอ้กองทิปซองละ100ไม่ใช่ป่ะ
SMS อันนี้ SMS ของทิปทำไมของทิปซองละ100ไอ้ก็งง
ครับแพงเนาะอยู่แต่ก่อนมันตอนผมสูบแต่ก่อนมันซองละ60
อันนี้65
อันนี้วันดื้อ
อันนี้65
วันดื้อแดง
ไม่ต้องกล่าวละ
ไอ้
ซองก็โอเคนะ
หมายเจนใช่ไหมนี่
รู้จักซองใช่ไหมซองก็ติดกับผมแล้วนี่มาผมอายุ12 ปีพอแล้วซอง
มันชื่ออะไร
ลัคกี้
ลัคกี้
มาทุกวันโชคดีนะครับ
ครับผม
Look at this guy down here. That he won't leave me alone. He won't leave me alone. He's got to touch me. That's so fast, that bonding. So he's out to catch fish. He's out to catch fish. He's got some little pieces of grass tied in knots. And that's his bait, and he's going to plant these little bamboo sticks in the ground with a little bit of nylon and a hook, and he's going to bait them all up. I won't subtitle that little interaction, but he was just talking about the price of cigarettes. He sees me here every day, and he even knows Song. He knows Song by name. But I've never met this guy before. He seems an interesting character. He had his shot of Lao Cow, and he smokes. Most of them do. There goes Song. Look. There's Lucky. So yeah, that was interesting. Let me get my tea. Lucky's here, look, all over me. Lucky's all over me now, look. I can use her as a table. Yes. So I'll probably call it a day now. The sun's coming up. I'm going to film the ride back, but I might not put that out. I don't know. The sun is definitely coming over the hill now. Over the trees, rather. Song's away, look. He's tearing off. He's seen something. What's he going after? It's so far away. Look at me, he's bouncing like a kangaroo. What a strange behaviour. Whatever it was he was chasing, it's so far away that he's got no chance of getting it. Lucky's just looking. So, he's down there setting his traps. Things are warming up. So just over an hour, including the ride here, Triple T will now sign off. And he may or may not add the bike ride back, depending on how it goes. So wherever you are in this wonderful world, just keep enjoying it, because it's such a wonderful experience to be alive. Triple T signing off.